the progress that we've made and what we've done. What I want to make sure we get as well is that this is not just the next version of Windows. This is really rethinking what your PC is, what it can do, and how it can do it. All right. Last year we talked about this as being reimagined. Last year we started right here at CES, and we showed you Windows running on ARM. And then in September, we had the Build Developer Conference, where we released the developer build and the developer tools and the platform to start that opportunity for developers. And just recently, we showcased the store, demonstrating how the progress that those developers have made on the platform developing apps can now show up in a great way. And one of the things we're going to do today is we're going to go walk through, and I want you to realize the potential of a touch-based PC, but also the power, the flexibility, the efficiency of using Windows 8 on a laptop, and want to really make sure I emphasize some of the new things that we've done since developer preview build. So I'm going to go over here. This is the same machine that we released at developer build. This is a touch system, and I'm going to start by just simply logging on. All I'm going to do is I'm just going to swipe up from the bottom there, and there I see one of the first ways that Windows 8 reflects me and the things I care about, that it feels optimized for touch. This is picture password. This is actually Alice's picture because she was up last. This is Alice's son, Owen. And what I've done is, this is a picture that I chose. And these are this is a pattern that I created that represents my touch login. I'm going to touch the left eye, I'm going to touch the right eye, and I'm going to swipe across. And one of the things you saw right there is I didn't do it well, so again, secure as ever, left eye, right eye. I'm going to drag across. Oop. And there I go. So that's picture password. It feels built for touch. It feels like what logon should be. It feels like a breath of fresh air for logging in with touch. And right away we come to our start screen. This is the Windows 8 start screen, the replacement of the start menu. And it's a collection of the applications, the websites, the people, and the information that's meaningful to me. One of the first things that you're going to notice is any of these applications has created this tile, and that tile is alive. It's telling me things that are important to me, and we call it alive with content. I can look right over weather here, say it's 52 degrees in Las Vegas right now. I can see that I'm getting news feed in on my apps. I can see my next appointment. So my start menu, as a personal reflection of me, is alive with activity each and every time I look at it. And because it's alive with activity, and it's so important to how I use, if I just take my finger, I'm just going to tap on the top there, just show you that I have touch visualizations turned on. Anytime you see that dot, it's just my finger on the screen. All I'm going to do is I'm going to swipe left and right, and this menu, this start screen, right, the applications, the information, the content, the tear out, responsive, quick, moves with my finger, feels like it's glued to me, and has all the applications I care about, organized in the way that's meaningful to me. I created these groups, I created these separations, I put things next to each other. This was my choice how to do it. Now, sometimes I don't have the apps that I care about, and I want to go get them. So I'm just going to go ahead and tap on the store. This is the Windows Store. What you see here is a representation of some of the progress that developers have made since our developer conference, starting to build apps on the platform using familiar technologies that are familiar to developers, HTML5, JavaScript, using some of our tools, and putting those in the store as a preparation to make it available to the biggest opportunity for developers that Windows has ever had. 1.25 billion PCs, 400 PCs shipping in the next year alone, and the opportunity to put these apps, these new Metro-style apps in the store, to price them like they want them, to put them in categories that care, to have ratings that are meaningful, to have try and buy content. And again, if I look through the store, I see the categories that you would expect from an immersive shopping experience. I see things organized. I can look things by category. I can look things by rating. It becomes an easy way to find and for customers to purchase content. So one of the things I'm going to do is I'm just going to tap on cut the rope like I'm buying. One of the first things I want to emphasize here is you see an immersive style, a Metro style application. By Metro style, we mean it's immersive. It's edge to edge. This application has decided how to use all the space on this screen to present to their customer the things that are important to them in the way they want to. Cut the rope. These are the things that are important to them. Here's what they decided to put out here. They get to own this space. Now, it just so happens I have cut the rope already on this machine. And one of the first things I'm going to show you is how do I get back to that really pivotal, that personal reflection of myself, the start screen. All I'm going to do is I'm just going to swipe in from the right edge with my thumb here, or any finger, and there I see what we call the Windows charms. The Windows charms represents the key functions, the key feature of Windows that's always available to me, that connects me to my applications, that connects applications to each other. I'm going to go through and show you search, share, start, devices, and settings. But for now, remember, I wanted to go back to that start screen. So again, it's as easy as if I go swipe in from the right, there's start, and I'm back to where I was. And it's not a mistake that start right under my thumb, right? If you picture you holding this device, again, right, it's right here, right available to my thumb. It's a fast and fluid way to move around. And just to show you that other applications that feel like you might recognize, this is eBay. And you can see eBay's decided how to use their Metro style application to present to me the information the way that eBay decides is the best way to use all that space on the screen. So again, eBay using the same platform, same familiar technologies of HTML5 and JavaScript, creating a Metro style application that's important to them, that reflects them and the things that are important to them. So great, I'm just going to switch over now. Now what I'm going to do is I'm just going to go over to this laptop. This is an off-the-shelf laptop. It's currently available. It's got a mouse, it's got a keyboard. It doesn't have touch. I'm going to show you some of the same important things, but I'm going to use some of the most powerful instruments I have available to me. My hands, the flexibility of my hands, and the kind of flexibility and efficiency that I want to see in a keyboard and a mouse. So one of the first things you're going to notice is in the lock screen, I've also been able to tailor the lock screen to have it reflect, again, the information I care about. I've allowed mail, calendar, and one of my social networking apps to live here and push notifications to me that tells me that things are ready for me, that there's something new here. And I know right without even having to log in, I can see that I have mail that's available to me. But how would I expect to log in on this machine? This is a keyboard. We want to make sure that it's as fluid to use my hands and a keyboard and a mouse as it is to use my finger with touch. So all I'm going to do is type enter. I'm just going to type my password, and there I am. I'm back to my start screen. It feels like it's built for that device, for what I have, for that input, as much as that picture password felt like it was built for my finger. And again, here you see the start screen, that rich representation of the apps that I care about. You can see on this start screen, I put some category titles because I can name these groups I made. And as I'm going to pick up this powerful instrument called a mouse, and I'm going to make sure that I'm as fast as fluid moving around my start screen with the mouse as I was my finger. So as you would expect, I can just go down, grab the taskbar. You see when I move my mouse, the taskbar becomes available, and when I let it sit, it'll go away. So it's there when I need it, as I would expect with the mouse. I also want to make sure, hey, we have this thing called a wheel on the mouse. It's fantastic. I'm just going to pull that up and down. It should move, and it should do that too. Wouldn't I expect that to work? But I'm also going to show you that even if I don't do that, if I just push my mouse to the edge of the screen, see I can just move from the beginning to the end, back and forth, like I would expect for this precision device that I have available to me. But we wanted to go further. We wanted to make sure we could make you as efficient using the devices as possible. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to grab the control key, and I'm going to turn my mouse a little bit, and there's my entire start screen, from beginning to end, with the categories that I created, that I care about. And as quick as easy, I was right at the beginning, that's how I go to the end. Right? I can use that to get back. Again, I'm just going to go, what's the quickest way to get from the beginning to the end? That feels pretty efficient for those devices that I have available to me. And just like I should be able to with my finger, I should be able to take an app, move it around, put it in the group that I want, and want to make sure, again, if I pull that down to the bottom, look at that, I get that zoom, and I can take that right to the end. Again, down to the bottom, I can put that right back at the beginning. Now, I can do that with not just an application, I can do that with an entire group. Right? I can move groups around, I can create the groups and put them where I want them, just like I want them to work. Alright, now, I'm just going to hit the Windows key to bring back my start screen. Now, you can see that on this build, I've actually put both some Metro style applications, some of the applications that I also care about a lot. These are super meaningful to me. This is my work laptop, this is the laptop I take home, this is my laptop I take anywhere. And as you can see, I can scroll over, and right beside some of my new Metro style applications, I've put Excel. Excel is important to my life. But how would I expect to find Excel? I could browse to it, I can tap it, I can click it with the mouse like I would always expect. But I should be able to use these. I mean, I have a keyboard, right? So all I'm going to do is type EX and C. And you can see immediately what the start screen did is it filtered through all the apps as I typed each letter, and I got right to Excel. So opening Excel is as quick as typing those 3 letters and hitting enter. And here I am, Excel. And this is all of Excel. This is the Excel that you know and love. If you've used Excel and PowerPoint on Windows 7, This is it. This is, if you've used the desktop on Windows 7, it is still here. It does the things that I would expect my PC to do, right? I can open PowerPoint, I can move PowerPoint around, I can switch back and forth, I can go back and forth between my apps, I can snap them side by side. This is the desktop. This is what I expect the desktop to do. I can pin different things here, and it could do it. All right? But it's not just the one world. It's just not either. So let me go back. I'm going to show you a super important scenario to me. Now, I have to tell you, I'm a transplanted Canadian, and I live in Redmond in Washington, and Seattle has no hockey team. So each and every day, I need my hockey fix. So here's how I start out part of my day. First, I want to be able to show you that, again, here's a Metro-style video application running on HTML, hardware accelerated, looks beautiful. It's beautiful HD 16 by 9. But where is that? Now, I'm going to open this up and I'm going to watch my hockey highlights in the morning. But I also want to make sure, like, I can always get back to those apps that I want, right? So, look, just like I would expect, here's a super valuable tool for me. I want power, there it is. How do I go back and forth? It's the easiest thing. I would expect Alt-Tab to be available to me to help me in my productivity, right? But it's not just back and forth. I can actually do both. So I'm going to take this mouse, I'm just going to push it up to the corner. Corners are a powerful place for a mouse. A mouse is a precision pointing device. Corner feels great. I'm going to take that video app that I was watching, I'm going to pull it over here. I can make it here. I can put it over there if I want. I'm just going to put it here now. And here what you see, this is my morning. I got my ESPN hockey highlights on my left. I got my work on the right. And I'm watching my highlights. And then my favorite team comes across. Right, they had a great night. It's Toronto Maple Leafs, by the way. They're going to win it this year. Oh, that's great. And hey, when Toronto comes on, I want to make that bigger. I want to see all the goals. Right? And when those highlights go back, I'll go back to what I was doing. And again, I can do those both at the same time. I get the productivity, I get my mental stuff. And it should happen, and sometimes happen. My boss walks in the office in the morning, hey, I can just make that go away too. Get the desktop right back to me. So there's productivity. There's the best of both worlds, allowing me the kind of multitasking that I expect Windows to offer me. And again, that I might expect to be real important to me on a laptop. Okay, so I'm going to switch over. I'm going to go over to this other PC. It's going to switch aside. There you go. Yeah, this is the same hardware, this is the same machine released at developer, but this is a later version of Windows release, and I want to show you some of the progress that we've made since that period of time. Alright, so one of the first things I'm going to do, again, I showed you that the charms there. One of the things that's really important to me, I'm going to bring that out, so I want to be able to see at any given moment. We know that settings, some of the settings are really important, so I'm just going to open the settings chart, that's the one at the bottom. I'm going to tap that. What you see at the top is, this is a space for the application that I have available to me to put their settings, so they're always available to me. But down here, we see Windows has put some of the settings that we know are super meaningful to people. Whether I'm connected, my volume, my screen, my power, or control notifications, I can switch my keyboard here, always available to me. But we know when we give people a little, if you're like me, I want to see a lot. And there are also other settings available to me as well. So here's the PC settings app. As you can see, lots of settings. You know, Windows people love lots of settings. I know customers love lots of settings. They're important to me. I used my airplane mode on the way here. So it's important that I be able to get here. But one of the things when I talked about that start screen reflecting yourself as a personal reflection of yourself and your life and the people you care about, we know that when we put that in people's hands, they want to do more. So we want to show you some of the progress you made. I'm going to just click over to the start screen. I'm going to show you that since the developer preview, we've given you the ability to create the kind of start screen, the kind of color scheme, the background, we might call the tattoo, sort of the variation that's in here, as well as the color. Look, I can do the green, I got blue, I can do, and you can see this would be an important way. If Windows 8 is going to be my reflection, how's the content people I care about, these kinds of things are going to be really important. Now, one of the things, I'm just going to switch over to account picture, and one of the things you'll notice, this is Alice. This is my PC. That doesn't reflect me. So I'm going to show you Windows 8 picking. So all I'm going to do, by the way, at this moment, if you've ever wondered what to do with the camera on your phone or your PC, this would be a great moment. I could click webcam, hold it up, take a picture of myself again, and do that quickly and easily. What I'm going to do is I'm just going to touch it. I'm going to touch browse. And like you would expect from a PC that has the content that's important to me, here are files on my PC. And this becomes an important moment. These are, because again, this isn't a purpose-built device, this is all of my PC. But if you're like me, my stuff's in a lot of places. And you would expect those places to be documents and pictures. If I were looking for a photo of myself I have some, my wife has some, my oldest son has some. Do you know what else has my application? Has my pictures? Other applications. Why? Because I think my wife always puts more pictures of me on Facebook than I do, and I want to be able at this moment to say, hey, the stuff I care about is in an application, and I should be able to go get it. So what you see here at the bottom are two applications that have signed up to say is, I have pictures, and at this moment, those pictures, it might be local, but this might be a web service, it's an application, and I should be able to use that and get that out of that application. After all, those are my pictures, right? So I'm just going to tap on Photo Feeder. There's an application we built, and a friend of mine just happened to post these pictures up. And if I look through here, you see this wonderful picture of myself when I had more hair. I changed my pictures as easy as choosing it from that application. So what happened there? I just reached out to that application, retrieved that information, just as easy as it was if it was on this PC. And at the same time, if it was there, I could go get that as well. Alright. So I'm just going to, again, swipe in from the right. Let's talk about search, because search should do the same thing, right? If my pictures are in lots of places, I would probably want to search those places as well. So I'm going to tap on search, and one of the things I'm going to do is, again, you see that same kind of model. Here are applications that have signed up and say, hey, I have things that are searchable, and I can participate here. And some of the information I care about might be there. I'm just going to pick Socialite for a second. It's a social networking app that we built. And I'm going to search for my friend, Jason. I'm looking for Jason. So I just type J-O-S-O-N. I get the type ahead. There's my friend Jason. And if I touch him, here is this application called Socialite that has a wall and a feed of information providing that information back to me. And at this moment, I can go right on his wall, I can go get that information, and I found that's important. Now, again, because it's a PC, maybe he also has files, and surely you would expect, like, I should be able to look for files. So here are files on this system, right, that I might want to search for. Or, if it was important to me, like you would expect, I should be able to go search across the web. There we go. Helps if I touch it. Alright, so there it is. Now I've executed a search. So you see that what I had available to me at that moment I said search, I could search applications, I could search my local content, I could look out across the web, and it was all right there. And here you see IE. This is the Metro style version of IE. This is the same IE that's built on the same engine that IE10 is built on. So it has the same performance, it has the same hardware acceleration, has the same commitment to HTML5. And you see return results from Jason. Now, this application, like all Metro style applications, has a choice about how to use all the space on the screen that it wants. But it's important that at the moment that I want something from this application, that it's available to me. Now, before you saw me swipe in from the right to get the windows, what Windows can do for me, and in any Metro style application, all I'm going to do is swipe from the top or bottom, and I'll get what the application has available to me. So this is browsing, this is IE, and surely one of the things that was important to me is having an address bar, and there it is right there. And you see, across the top, these are tabs. And going to a tab is as easy as touching the tab, and now I'm at this site. This is a site of Life from Abroad. Now this is IE. So I would expect to be able to pan up and down, move up and down, read through my article. You know, we're talking about hardware acceleration, commitment to HTML5, so fonts look great. I can zoom in and zoom out. And like you would expect, you should be able to go to different places. Here's a recipe. And at this moment, again, using my, how would I expect to get back? Like, those commands are available to me. But again, we want you to feel like it's built. So I'm just going to swipe to the right, swipe to the left, and there's back and forward in IE. So, I'm on this. I'm going to just swipe again down from the bottom. We're going to go to this site. This is a Windows blog. One of the things I want to show you is I'm going to start this video. This video might not want to start. So there it is right there. So here's IE. Here's IE running with no extension. Right? Rich commitment, solid commitment to HTML5 is IE running with no extension. Alright, now when I talk about these Metro style applications and the application deciding how to put really compelling content first and foremost on that screen, one of the things that's going to want to happen a lot is you're going to want to share that. And right now out on the web, there's a ton of different ways to do that, right? There's buttons, there's controls. I have no control over what to do. Well, we think Windows, one of the core things Windows should do is to help make sure that this information that's here gets to the applications and the people I care about. So all I'm going to do is I'm just going to tap up here in the corner. I'm just going to select this piece of text. Again, I'm going to swipe in from the right. I'm going to hit share. And here are, again, Metro style applications who said, I can share things. I'm a target for sharing. I can take this content and do something with it. So I'm going to take friend send, and you can see friend send takes that information that I selected, already loaded it here. Friend send allows me to start typing a message. So I can put a message here. Here you see our on-screen keyboard. So I'm going to try to specifically mistype something here. Although this is, all right, let's try to do this. Because, see it auto-corrected, so I've been mistyping message too much. Now it's auto-correcting. One of the things I want to make sure we show you, we want to make sure that entering text is an important way to communicate with people at these moments and find things and search things. So every Metro style application has auto-correction, has spell check built into it for free, because we want entering data information to be super efficient and feel like it does what it wants. And in the same way, if you think of this device and me holding this device, how often am I grabbing it like this or like this? And what's the most powerful thing available to me right here? I got my thumbs. My thumbs are a powerful agent. So we wanted to make sure that at any moment that it wasn't just fast and efficient, that it was also comfortable. So here's the thumb keyboard. And I can choose to use that to ensure that I can keep my hands where I want them. And recognizing people have different sizes of hands. I can make it smaller. I can make it bigger. Just as easy as that. Alright, so there it is. I've shared something with my friend Katie. I've done so without ever having to leave the application I was in. And I've had exposure. I've been able to use lots of different applications and what they're great at to get that done. Alright, so I'm going to go back to start here for a second. I'm just going to launch a few things. Here's the weather. Here's start. I'm going to go back. We get a news app up. Okay, so here it is. You've seen I've made a bunch of applications available. And just to make sure I show you that they're available, all I'm going to do is I'm just going to take my left thumb. I'm just going to flick here on the left. Just show you how these applications, I'll use my finger, there they are. They're all right there. All those applications I opened were available to me. It's easy as swiping in. They're all there. Right? And we know, so I showed you lots of Metro style applications, but if you're kind of a geek like me, you want to make sure that our choices haven't gotten in the way of the kind of performance and battery life I expect from this machine. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to go back to the start menu. I'm going to open Task Manager for a second. There you see Task Manager. Now, we hope this is something you don't look at a lot, but you know what? We love this. And people love this because it gives them the confidence of what their machine is doing. So even though I showed you that all those applications were readily available to me just by clicking my thumb, look down that column of CPU and recognize that what Windows is doing is it's taking those applications and it's suspending them in the background to ensure that they're not using the processing power that you expect, that you want out of all your applications. And it's not going through the battery and getting in the way of the battery life that you expect from a PC that's essential to your life. Right? Now, I'm just going to geek out for a moment because I happen to love Task Manager. Show you that, again, when I talk about confidence, we want you to be really confident. So we've built into Task Manager lots of great ways to look at what your machine is and what it's doing. I can look at it. I can look at those applications by history and how they've been performing. I can even go into Startup and find out what's going on there and make some changes. So really powerful tool to give you the confidence that your machine's doing what it should. Now, I have to say though, that even though that's true, even though we think you need to close these applications, you know what? Sometimes those hockey highlights were so bad, I just want them to go away. So let me just do a couple things. I'm just going to get a couple things up. Alright, there's the news feeder. There's the view I had. Sometimes, as I told you, I'm just swiping in from left. You know what? I'm just done with it. I'm done with that bad Leaf game. I just don't want to see it anymore. And we know it's important for people to just get that thing away. So I'm going to show you. I'm just going to take my hand. I'm just going to pull down from the top. And take that news feeder, drag it to the bottom, and it's gone. Right? I can do that if I pulled it out from the side. Again. If I wanted to from the side, I can make that go away. And there, that's gone. Right? And even when it's in this state, if I wanted this to go away, if this was the worst highlight ever, again, I can just pull down from the top, get to the bottom, and now it's gone. So there you see Windows 8. You know, I work on the product team. I'm very excited to be able to show you that today. We're very excited about the things coming up. I hope what you've seen is how Windows is being reimagined from the chipset right through to the user experience, how it feels optimized for touch when that's important to me, how it works with mouse and keyboard, how it lets me use the most powerful instruments I have. We're super excited. Look for the next release, the beta release, sometime in February, at the end of February. We hope you'll download it and experience Windows 8 for yourself. Thank you very much.